Starting off, you'll all command your troops to destroy one of the bazooka vets in the middle. Your artillery will take this guy out along with the other two. And now you can start heading towards the airbase. However, when climbing up the incline, you will tell all your units to wait for you and have your artillery on follow mode. Now, there's going to be two things you're going to have to destroy. 2 MG towers and 2 mortar vets. Unfortunately, at this point, I die in the video, just my troop. But at that point, you would send everybody to capture the airbase. So just, lock onto the airbase and send them to capture it with the all command. The key signal to know when to send everybody to capture it would be when your artillery go from attack mode to follow mode. And then you can switch to one of your artilleries as you'll be providing some cover fire, like destroying the MG nests that are in the entrance of the airbase. There will be gunships coming towards you after you switch. Don't worry, your anti-air vets will take care of them because they're programmed to and they're better than Battalion Wars 1 anti-air vets. Here I go for bazooka vets. It's optional, but you don't really have to. They add a bit of support and you're more than welcome to free them. Along with that, once you make it to the airbase and start capturing the flag, there will be reinforcements. Once again, your anti-air vets can deal with that transport copter. You can nudge a bit forward and start attacking the tanks, but it's a bit iffy and you don't really have to do it. Once you capture the airbase, quickly switch over to the gunship and start heading towards the mausoleum. At this point, there's going to be a cutscene. For ILs, of course, let it play out. Most cutscenes are beneficial to you. While in an any percent run or campaign run, you can skip it or let it play about halfway towards when one of the anti-air towers gets shown. When the cutscenes play, they pause the in-game timer. However, everything around the world, well, basically the level, still moves. So if you have everybody on follow mode, they'll still head towards you. A prime example of a cutscene you should skip is in 1-2 when the Western Frontier tank comes in and, a little cutscene for them. You should skip that because in-game time passes for some reason during that cutscene. Though really, that's only one of the cutscenes that allows the timer to keep ticking from what I've encountered. Okay, so now that the cutscene is played out, head straight towards the mausoleum, the main entrance, and destroy the MG nests, along with killing a couple of the grenade vets that are by the diffusers. Or you can play it a bit more safe, send your gunship to attack one of the tanks, the light tanks that are on the left side, then do what I mentioned before afterwards. There will be a lot of intrusions towards your capture, like 2 artilleries and then a couple of gunships, but you don't really have to worry. I would say the most you have to worry about is the artillery and a couple of the mortar vets that are going to be on one side that you really don't want to go after. Of course, have your troops capture the safer ones rather than the ones near imminent danger, so they don't constantly hop off the diffuser. But they're a couple of seconds each, so I mean, it's whatever. Sometimes luck is with you, sometimes it's not. It's the bad part about this mission at the end. Okay, starting off, you're going to want to take out the RPG tower that's to the right and take the right path. Keep in mind that 3 submarines will also be coming towards you. 2 of them will be on the right path, and then the last one will be on the left path. To deal with them without having to waste time by just going with the frigates, you're going to want to have them follow you, the frigates, a bit out of spawn, kind of towards near where the shore of the RPG tower that you took out was, so that they'll take care of the 2 submarines that are going to be coming to the right, and then the last one that's basically just a straggler, and that's on the left path. That straggler will make its way around towards the frigates. And continue following the right path. There's going to be gunships incoming, about 2. I would say worry about them a bit, and just hope that your frigates have dealt with the straggling submarine. Other than that, there's going to be 2 sets of 2 RPG towers. There's going to be right beside another 2 battleships. So on the left pair of RPG towers, to the left of it, there's gonna be submarines coming after you. If you can lock onto them quickly, do so and have your frigates go after them. And to the right of that RPG tower, there's gonna be a group of frigates that are gonna come after you. Deal with them quickly yourself, and then if your submarines have finished off the other subs, you can have them go after a pair of battleships that are gonna be at the docks to the far left. So after that, head straight to the right or just straight forward, depending on how you maneuver around during the last part. Waiting for you will be 2 submarines, 2 battleships, and a dreadnought. That dreadnought will be at the end of the naval section, so just worry about the subs and the battleships, because if you take a lot of damage, you won't be able to defeat the dreadnought as quickly as you should want to, due to it possibly killing you off and you having to use your submarines. So after this comes the land section, which is pretty darn easy up until the end. After destroying the dreadnought, the cutscene that plays afterwards can be skipped, as it's just a transition to the second part of the mission. Alright, now comes the fun section of the map, which is just rolling to the end. But first, you're gonna want to free the mortar POWs that are up ahead. Once they're free, just switch to them and roll to the end. Also, one more thing, when coming across the acid gas vets, whatever, you're gonna want to spread them out by just shooting your grenade, and they shouldn't be that much of a threat to your troops, but try and have them focus on you. Sometimes they'll turn their attention back to your own troops, and that can cause a lot of trouble. Keep in mind that the gunships will go after you. In this case, you're going to want to stall enough time so that your anti-air vets can get to you, or enough time so that your other troops are by you so that they get aggroed by the gunships. Ice Station X, a decently RNG based mission due to the fact that you have to avoid anti-air vehicles and circle the ice station with your bomber. It's kind of difficult, but the fastest way to beat this mission. So you're going to start rolling towards the split road and send your units to attack the anti-air tower that's to the right. And you're going to technically head straight forward, but you're going to want to climb onto or climb over the hill that's basically right in front of you. This will let you lock onto the anti-air tower that's to the right and be able to send your troops here, but also this allows you to avoid taking damage from a couple of the troops that are stationed near the tower you're heading towards. Once you've destroyed your tower, you're going to want to take the bridge that leads towards the Tundran POWs. Try to free them or try squeezing through the barbed wire so that there's a chance that the Exovanian rockets can destroy the barbed wire, freeing the POWs, which will allow you to send those troops to attack one of the anti-air towers that's near the path towards the concrete barricade. Then you're gonna take another bridge towards the last anti-air tower, which I'll mark, and yeah, you're just gonna roll towards it. You can either go around the small hill or try to climb on top of it and then shoot it from there. Either way works. You don't really save time from my experience doing either or. And yeah, you've done the easy part of this mission. Now the hard part. So it's bomber time, and that means the hard part of the mission, trying to avoid those anti-air vehicles, which is difficult, and you're probably going to restart a lot of runs because of this. Or either you're going to play it safe and go for the jerry cans that are on the units by those gas tanks. There should be a total of 6 jerry cans, so if you have to use them, but use them sparingly in a way that you don't use them all in one go. Maybe a round trip, but realistically you're not wanting to have to go and get those jerry cans just to finish the mission, but it's all based on luck at that point. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get near the ice station X is go for a distance bombing, which is just diving all the way down and then just lifting the bomber up while having your reticle all the way at the top. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes you'll get damage, sometimes you won't. It's whatever. You want some of that damage, of course, but after that you're just gonna make a U-turn to basically avoid anti-air missiles. Also, when quote-unquote dive bombing, you're gonna want to lock onto the ice station to send your bomber to it, the other one, of course. And then after all this shenanigans, you're gonna head straight towards the ice station X and do circles around it. That's pretty much it. But you have to be extremely lucky in the anti-air placements, because if those vehicles are in certain places, they will start chugging a lot of your health. And then you're gonna really have to use the jerry cans, which is a no-no. And you want to do this basically without having the need to use those jerry cans, but sometimes you're gonna be forced to. The Reckoning, the last mission of the game and one of the most easiest ones out of them all. If you fail in this mission, it's mostly because of stupid AI or your lack of awareness of your health for your battle station. You're going to start off by chucking a Hail Mary of a shot by just aiming up in the air towards either the left or right heavy tank that's coming towards the radar array. Depending on which tank you damage first, you're going to go for the opposite one afterwards. But you're also going to try to get near the other tank that you shot first so that your RPGs on the battle station can destroy that tank. After that, it's another set of heavy tanks that you can easily take out, doing the same thing. You're just gonna attack whichever you please and then have your rockets on the battle station take care of it while you try to take out the other one. So it's a back and forth thing. At the same time, you're gonna want to try locking onto gunships that are coming in and having your anti-air vets take care of them. Either that, or you can just leave them on guard mode on the radar array when you first start the mission. Now, the 2 battle stations that spawn in, if you're fast enough, it's an if, you can have your gunships spawn in a couple seconds after the cutscene. And unfortunately, during the cutscene, you can't just wait it out as the gunship is invulnerable at that state. And yeah, take care of the one that's closest to you first, and by the time you've taken half of its health, the gunship should spawn, and you can send it after the one that's farthest from you. After you're done taking care of these battle stations, you can head forward towards another cutscene that will play out. In an IO, you can play it out, full game run. Of course, you gotta skip these cutscenes, waste a lot of time. But in an IO run, this cutscene is very crucial into getting your battle station closer towards the objective that you have to protect, this being the gunships. One more thing I didn't note, after you're done destroying the battle stations, you're gonna switch to your gunships and head towards that objective. After this, you're gonna head straight towards the next set of POWs, not the anti-air vehicles, those you won't be needing, and it's a waste of time to just free them. The next POWs you're going to free are the heavy tanks that are by the mining spider. So at this point, it's just a straightforward path towards those POWs and the mining spider, and you're just going to take care of any units that pose a threat to you. Also, you're going to want to keep your anti-air vets on check so that they can destroy any gunships that are basically coming towards you. Once you make it to these POWs, you're going to want to hug the left and take out the battle station that's on the top left corner. The battle station on the top right, or by the POWs, you're going to want to send your gunships to take care of. Once you're done freeing the POWs, you just head straight towards the mining spider. Now we're at the mining spider, and you're going to want to take care of this battle station. Gunships are going to be coming towards you. Just send your anti-air vets to take care of them. It's going to be 2 gunships, and then there's going to be 2 battle stations. You can send your gunships to take care of those battle stations. Firstly, you're going to want to take care of the one that's closer. While this is happening, you're going to send your heavy tanks to attack the generators that are around it. Have them attack any generator while you take care of the rest with your gunships. And of course, taking care of those battle stations that are around it and the heavy tanks too. While the heavy tanks don't pose that much of a threat, you do want to take them out just so they don't chip at your health. After the generators are destroyed, it's now just a boring shootout of your cannons. Mainly the battle station cannons that do damage to the mining spider, as anything else won't do any damage, as for those who have actually played Battalion Wars, which is most of you. Also, beware of the shadow destroyers. They will chip a lot of health away from you. And yeah, that's it for this guide. I'll just let it all play out, you know. This is a PB for me too, so it's pretty nice, I guess. I don't know. This game's boring to run. So this has been in the works for about a year, mostly because I've neglected to actually make any progress on the guide. For a while, it was stuck on Operation Natalis. I don't know how to say it, whatever. And yeah, just recently I did Ice Station X and, well, now The Reckoning. I don't think I'm gonna post any more guides for the foreseeable future. Maybe the Battalion Wars 1 guide that I've been working on, but that's just an on and off thing I've actually been doing. The whole script is done for that. Mostly the Battalion Wars 2 guides are done from me speaking random bullshit. So there's usually no scripts for this, and I just go off of just a free flow, basically, and it's what's most comfortable for me.